Hiya, and welcome back to Green Hill Gaming, where I share my passion of video games with the whole wide world. In this live stream, I'll be trying out the first person mode for Resident Evil Village, my favourite Resident Evil game of the entire series. So sit back, relax, but as always, and more importantly, enjoy the live stream. Now, I know my regular viewers might be saying, Johnny, you're such a hypocrite, after how I feel about the Mega My set, and in particular, because of that, the Shadows of Rose DLC. But no, apart from the Mega My set being the craziest thing ever introduced in the entire Resident Evil series, I still think that Village has the best story of the entire series. Just so many like twists and turns, from the very beginning of the game. The very beginning of the game, which is going to be crazy actually to experience in first person, where Ethan is just having a normal, like, family evening. He's just about to have dinner with his wife and an infant. Actually, just putting his infant. He literally just put his infant baby to bed. Comes down, looking forward to a bit of pasta, and the next minute, like, the lights go out, and her wife just gets, well, what he thinks to be his wife at the time, just brutally shot to death, and finds out that it was actually Chris Redfield, like the hero of the series. Like, that's literally 10 minutes into the game, right? And then, like, as you kind of get towards the end of the game, just so many twists. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just insane. Like, Chris is like, that wasn't Mia, you know, that he shot, and then you find out that, like, Ethan was already dead. Well, you see him get his heart ripped out of his chest from Mother Miranda. You're like, oh my fucking god, Ethan is dead. Then you find out he was already dead the whole time. Oh Christ, it's just it's just one hell of a roller coaster ride. I've always enjoyed the story of the Resident Evil games. In fact, story is a very big thing for me when it comes to games. But yeah, it's the story that really got me into the Resident Evil series, to be honest with you. Um, and yeah, I mean, like, I suppose, like, gameplay wise and all of that, like, when it comes to, like, inventory management and um, like the save system and stuff like that. I suppose, like, in my mind, I always feel that the last, like, classic Resident Evil game was Code Veronica. Like 4, 5, and 6 just introduced so much action to the series. Um, so I suppose, like, gameplay wise, from the perspective of, like, traditional Resident Evil, okay, fair enough. Like, Village as well as 7 might be a bit kind of, like, out there compared to the classic Resident Evil games. But look, nonetheless, I enjoyed Village for its story. Saying that, like, I mean, the gameplay is a lot better than 4, 5, and 6, in my opinion, as a Resident Evil game, and it's a lot more horror focused as well, like, you know. But yeah, so I'm gonna be trying out the first person mode for Village. Actually, just give me a few seconds there. I have to check something on my YouTube. See, YouTube always tries to get one up on me. I'm telling you. So I'm always trying to be one step ahead of YouTube. I won't be long. Hopefully. I won't be too long more now. I'm actually really looking forward to experiencing the opening of this game in first person. It's going to be something else. Like, it's going to be an experience. Oh, okay. Okay. Alright, so there it is. For anyone wondering, by the way, how to like activate or even deactivate first person view, all you have to do is go into options, go to camera, go to view mode, and you can switch between first person or third person. I actually find it funny how the game literally like has to like tell you, show you the difference between first person and third person. It's crazy. Oh god, wait. Oh god. I didn't, did I? Did I? Oh, for God's sake, I literally said first person, didn't I? Oh shit. Well, that's embarrassing. Third person. Third person. Third person mode is what I'm actually going to be trying out. Great, now I'm going to have to edit. Right. So I have to change first to third. Oh, the irony of that. The irony of me mocking Capcom for showing the difference between third person and first person. And there's me calling just like the live stream first person. What? So just to clear up that confusion, I'm going to be trying out the third person mode. Jesus. Right. Third person. Currently third person. Okay, here we go. New game. Casual, standard, hardcore. Village of Shadows. Standard. Standard. Will do me just fine. Do you know, I'm just noticing there actually now. Cutscenes will be in first person perspective. You think they would have changed that, like, to give you like the full, so you're getting the full whack, like you're getting the full whack experience, like, you know, full third person, like. Oh, so that means so. That's kind of shitty, like. That means so you won't see the opening scene where Mia gets shot up in third person. Play the main story in third person perspective. View mode does not impact the gameplay. Obviously, why would it? Doesn't make any sense. So cutscenes will still be in first person perspective. Camera wobble will be turned off. Alright, nonetheless.
Long ago, a young girl went with her mother to pick berries for her father, who was hard at work. But the forest greeted them with a dark, cold silence, the bushes empty. Yet determined to find the berries, the rascal broke free from Mother's grasp and vanished into the trees. Mother's worried cries faded fast as the girl ran on, over vine and under branch, and into the forest deep. Feeling strange eyes upon her, the girl recalled Mother's scary bedtime tales, and her throat became bone dry. Then the Bat Lord appeared. He greeted her warmly and bit his own wing. "Come, child, quench your thirst," he said. So she drank the thick, dark blood and smiled with joy. Passing through the graveyard, menacing storm clouds loomed, and the air turned bitingly cold. The girl was shivering in her thin clothes. Then a dark weaver appeared. and with a click of his fingers crafted mist into a beautiful dress. "Come, child, warm yourself," he coaxed. So she clothed herself and smiled with joy. Across waters deep and ominous she went, hoping a boat she found would carry her home. But hunger's grip tightened and her heart grew heavy. Then the Fish King appeared and offered one of his many fins. "Come, child, eat your fill." So the girl ate and smiled with joy once more. Continuing on, she soon entered the forest's dark heart. Then an iron steed appeared, bearing a beautiful golden gear. The creature said nothing as the girl approached and snatched what she thought was another gift. The horse grew angry and summoned the other monsters. Terror filled the girl's heart as the wild wind rose around the beasts. Suddenly, a witch appeared, dark yet regal. "Gifts we gave, but more you took," she snarled. "So more in turn is due." In a blink,
Yeah, the cutscenes are still in
inside a mirror.
first person. I thought it'd be nice if so what's the point of
She's asleep.
What is
like my character Eden should be standing in front of
Woman at the
Mia
store said it was
and
traditional.
Rose,
A local
in third
tale.
person perspective, like.
Besides, Rose doesn't seem to mind.
Because she doesn't understand it. Thank God. We moved here so that she wouldn't have to deal with any of that, remember?
There's nothing wrong with my memory. You're just being paranoid.
It's not... Never mind. I'm sorry. But I'm not paranoid. I'm just cautious.
Then, go cautiously take your daughter to bed. I'll finish dinner.
It's okay, Rose. Your mother doesn't want to remember it. I can't blame her.
No, here we are now, third person.
Did you say something?
Nothing. I'll put her down.
I said, here we are now, third person. You still can't see his face. And that chair still looks as amazing as it did when the game launched.
Don't get too close to me when I'm cooking, babe.
Alright, Miranda. Because that's not actually Mia, it's Mother Miranda. The thing about third person is like, does he gain supernatural powers where he can open drawers with his mind, telekinesis, is it? Because you can't, it's just. Oh, see, this is something I always talk about, right?
They're there. It's like
Shut
I
up,
said
Rose,
to your
I'm
mom.
talking.
That book's too scary for you.
Right, you have a lot of people nowadays like talking about how realistic games are becoming. They look so realistic and they play so realistic. But then you have this. Then you have this. And what that is, that reminds us all that video games are not supposed to be realistic.
Almost there, honey. you go, sweetheart. Don't you worry. I'll be right downstairs. Daddy won't let those weird fairy tale monsters get you.
I don't know why Capcom just won't show us Ethan's face. Like, is he that bad? Like, is he that ugly? What about the mirror? Where's the bathroom? Can I get like a Silent Hill 2 kind of thing, like? No?
Is she okay?
Sleeping like like a baby. That smells good. What's that?
Oh, hands off, mister. It's ciorba de legume. It's a local recipe.
Wow, you've gone full native, haven't you?
Local wine, too. But if you're gonna keep sulking all evening, maybe you shouldn't have any. You really have to stop worrying.
It's just finding you in Louisiana, the pregnancy, Chris moving us here, military training, it all happened so fast, you know?
Well, at least we're all together. You, me, Rose. Now, everything's gonna
Seriously, think we can just forget about what happened in Louisiana?
It happened so long ago. I don't understand why you are so...
Mia, get down! Mia!
It's actually the best opening to any Resident Evil game.
Mia, oh God!
And then you find out who it is, like, and it's Chris fucking Redfield.
What the hell?
Sorry, Ethan.
No!
The boulder punching asshole himself.
Why?
But that's the question, why? You find out why at the end of the game, like, and that's even more of a twist. Like, that's actually not Mia. That wasn't Mia, that was Mother Miranda.
Go move!
So Chris is actually protecting you.
All clear.
Rose?
What the hell are you doing with my daughter?
Package secure, sir.
You
Take him
could just
away.
tell him, like,
I said get your hands off her!
Ethan, no.
Rose.
Get him out of here.
I definitely want Chris Redfield to be... You know what, actually, Chris and Jill need to be in Resident Evil 9. I remember saying before that I'd like if they were kind of in conflict with each other. Because of, like, Chris Redfield is basically, he's distanced himself from the BSAA. And I presume Jill Valentine is still with them.
Hey, Doc.
But, no, I'd actually like to go back to the original
No problem.
Resident Evil and have, like, Chris and Jill back together again.
That was the Doc. She'll see us next week.
Maybe they both kind of, like, leave the BSAA after finding out that they were actually using biological weapons. I can't see Jill Valentine staying in the BSAA
I know.
if, is it the BSAA or the BSSA?
I keep
I don't even
telling
know.
you, it's not Rose that I'm worried about.
Well, then what are
But
you
regardless,
worried about? Look,
I'd like if they were
just 'cause we're
both
fine. I just know it.
gone
What
from
else
them.
matters?
We
and then, like,
matter,
Chris
Ethan!
and Jill team up
You matter!
to go after them.
Just
Mia, what are you talking about? Is there something you're not telling me? Come on, talk to me. Damn it. I have to take this.
So this is after Mother Miranda attacked like the convoy. And then took Rose. She needs Rose, Mother Miranda needs Rose.
What's your status? Is the package safe?
What are you talking about? Where's Chris Redfield? And
She needs
Rose?
her as a vessel
This is a secure channel.
to store the consciousness and memories of her dead daughter who died 100 years ago from the Spanish flu. Yeah, that's Resident Evil in today's world when it comes to its story. Long gone are the shady Umbrella Corporation creating biological weapons. Yeah. That's the third person mode. Okay. Ethan walking like he just shot himself. Okay. When he's walking in heavy snow, like. But, yeah. But I don't see why they couldn't have just added this mode at the beginning. Because like it's not major, like it's not a major DLC, like. Apparently one of the reasons why Capcom did this is because some players found first person to be too scary, and also they got motion sickness as well. But I still think it should have just been there from the beginning as an option. I still think 7 has the best DLC. Far better, in my opinion, anyway. I don't care what anyone says. I think 7 and Village are absolutely terrifying, scary Resident Evil games. Far more scary than 4, 5 and 6, in my opinion. And I would even argue scarier than some of the earlier games. And I really mean that. I've played the early Resident Evil games, and yeah, there's a couple of jump scares here and there, and they're genuinely jump scares, like. But I always found Resident Evil to be more of a survival game. Like, it was survival horror. Like, so it was more kind of, oh shit, I don't have enough ammo. Oh shit, I don't have enough health. Do you know what I mean? It was more so that than really like a terrifying experience. Like, I really think there's just something about like just hearing these like creepy noises every now and again, like, and the atmosphere. So everyone is entitled to their opinion. Everyone is going to have their preferred Resident Evil game and games and whatnot. But I genuinely feel, Coulson, I genuinely feel that Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil Village, and definitely Shadows of Rose DLC when it comes to the mannequin as the most, like, they're absolutely terrifying games. Terrifying Resident Evil games, and a lot more scarier than 4, 5 and 6 and some of the classic games as well. That's just my personal opinion on the situation. But Coulson, as always, you're very welcome to Green Hill Gaming. How are you keeping? Welcome to my Resident Evil Village DLC, where you can't see Ethan's face, but nonetheless it is third person view, third person mode. Doing great. Beat this game yesterday for the first time. First time ever. What do you think of the ending? The ending moments, like the moments leading up to the ending, where you find out, like you find out that Mia isn't Mia. You find out that Ethan is already dead. You know. Oh God. But wasn't it just a roller coaster ride? And then you start playing as Chris Redfield, and it's one hell of an experience, isn't it? That's why I personally think that Village is actually my favourite game in the series, because of the story, because of the twists and the turns.
What did all this?
The confusing. Well, yeah, I suppose there's a lot happening, alright, isn't there? There's a lot happening. Confusing to me. Then you play as Chris and see the BSAA for some reason. Well, the BSAA, you see, I would recommend that you go to the. If you go into bonuses, I think it's bonuses anyway, on the main menu, and I think you have to read the tragic tale of Ethan Winters. Oh no, it's not. No, I think it's the Baker family incident. It's one of those anyway. It's a long ass document, but it's well worth it. You actually find out, like, you basically find out why Chris Redfield is so distant with the BSAA. Okay. Basically, they tried to cover up the Louisiana incident, and because they felt responsible, because they actually like were supposed to have captured Evelyn even before the events of Resident Evil 7, and because they failed to capture her, she was then being transported on the ship, and then she got loose. So the BSA kind of feel responsible for failing. So they just try to kind of cover the whole thing up. And Chris kind of wasn't really like, he didn't really kind of agree with that so much, and he kind of went rogue. Yeah, he went rogue. And at the end of Village, the BSA showed up, more than likely to try to cover up that situation as well. But they're actually using bioweapons. They're using bioweapons. Like, obviously Chris Redfield is not in favour of bioweapons, and it goes against the BSAA. So that's why Chris Redfield is kind of going against them. But that's what's happening with the BSAA at the end. I still need to play RE7, but looks it is scary, isn't it? That's exactly what I was saying earlier. I'm actually glad you feel that way. Because again, I mean, I've played the entire mainline Resident Evil series, and I honestly feel that 7 Village and the Shadows of Rose DLC are actually the most. They're actually the most, in my opinion, the most terrifying Resident Evil games in the series. More terrifying than 4, 5, and 6, and even some of the classic Resident Evil games, because of just how they do it, because of the atmosphere, the tone of the games. I know that the classic games has its fair share of jump scares, but believe me, I've experienced them. Nemesis jumping through the window in the RPD in Resident Evil 3 is a terrifying moment altogether. Being chased by Nemesis in the original Resident Evil 3, terrifying. You know, I can go on. But just overall, just from the overall experience of you know, from start to finish of 7 Village and Shadows of DLC, especially with the mannequins, it's just terrifying. There's just a lot of terrifying moments in the game, like, you know. Again, that's just my personal opinion. Coulson likes that Village shows Spencer. Yeah, I love them. Spencer actually shows up in that document that I spoke about a minute ago. It's I think that's in the. I think that's actually in the. There's 2 of them. You see, there's the Baker incident thing, and there's the tragic tale of Ethan Winters. In one of them, anyway, Spencer is actually referenced. The reason he's actually referenced is because his friend at the time. He's like right-hand man in the Umbrella Corporation. He's actually the one who established the connections, which are actually the organization, the criminal organization that actually created everything. That's why he's actually referenced. But the fact that he actually got referenced in the main game, it's kind of crazy. Like, to see this young Oswald Spencer show up in this village, and it was actually Mother Miranda that taught him everything, like, that he kind of knew about viruses and all of that. So Mother Miranda is the person responsible for Spencer basically doing it. So Mother Miranda is basically the root of the entire Resident Evil series when you actually stop and think about it. We're looking at them. Resident Evil 3 remake scared me. Inferno Nemi is a beast, teleporting super speed and super annoying. On Inferno, I was screaming. Yeah, I can imagine it was one hell of a challenge. You know what? My days of challenging myself in Resident Evil are gone. I'm happy enough with the fact that a good couple of years ago, leading up to the release of Revelations, the original Revelations on 3DS, I actually decided to go back and play the entire mainline series at the time. So that would have been Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, Code Veronica, 4, and 5. Completed them from start to finish. So I don't really feel the need to jump into like the hardest difficulty in every single Resident Evil game. You know, I don't feel the need to do that. I feel like I've proven myself before when it comes to Resident Evil, so yeah, happy enough with that. Still beat the game in 1 hour though. Fair play to you. But I'm just excited for a new RE game. Hopefully we see Carlos or Jill. It's a good point actually, yeah. I want to see Chris and Jill team up against the BSAA. That's what I want to see. I think that would be crazy to see. They definitely need to bring back Jill Valentine. Like, she hasn't been seen in the mainline RE game since Revelations, for Christ's sake. Revelations, like, we can't include the remake of 3 because that's just stupid. I like my trophies. That's the only reason I touch the harder modes. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Where the hell am I?
Hell. I think it's so annoying you can't see its face. I hate that, like. I always mention this, but that's actually Rose's monkey bear that just somehow ends up in the village. That's still not fully explained, by the way. I don't know, I haven't heard it explained anyway, but unless like Chris and the lads like took it with them. Playing as Michael. Nice one. Who's Michael? Oh yeah, Michael. Haha.
What happened?
I see what we did there. What happened, Eden? Mother Miranda happened. I actually love the story of Mother Miranda, to be honest with you. I mean, she's a grieving mother who wants her daughter back. She died 100 years ago with the Spanish flu. She comes across this giant fetus, the Megamycete, in a cave where she went to die basically because she couldn't live without her daughter. She somehow discovers that the Megamycete is able to store the consciousness and memories of people who've died in the village. So she then says to herself, well, maybe I can bring back Eva, her daughter, which I forget her name. So she then kind of conducts this kind of, starts to kind of come up with this plan to find the perfect vessel for her daughter. And she believes that Rose, long story short, she believes that Rose is the perfect vessel, presumably because of the fact that she has the mold inside of her, and she's got like superpowers and all that kind of shit. Like, so yeah. But I like her motivation. Do you know what I mean? I like her motivation for why she's doing what she's doing. You know, she's not some kind of like mad scientist that wants to, create the perfect life form and, create this like biological weapon or whatnot. You know what I mean? What's funny is I've actually never noticed these wheelie bins before. But now in third person, I'm actually experiencing wheelie bins. This is the reason you should download the Witness expansion pack right now, guys. You can see wheelie bins. But yeah. So here we are now. Like it's more of a cosmetic change, really. Third person mode. Look, I honestly think that 7 had the best DLC. Honestly, I mean, you had a prequel to 7 with daughters. You had a sequel to Village, Not a Hero. Okay. And then you had like stories like in between, like things in between. You had where Clancy was like locked up in the bedroom DLC, where it was like an escape room. You had like 21, where you had just a crazy game of 21 with Lucas. You had like Jack's 50th birthday. You had like this like kind of fucking but you were trapped in like a basement, and you try to like collect all these like resources, and you were building fucking weapons and everything. And there was others as well. It was like there was a lot of content. There was a lot of content in Resident Evil 7's DLC. Resident Evil Village, third person view, new content for the mercenaries, and Shadows of Rose. I mean, if it didn't have Shadows of Rose, it wouldn't be worth the getting. getting, to be honest with you. How are you, Dad? I am doing well now, thanks for asking. What about you? As always, you are very welcome to Green Hill Gaming. Hope you enjoy the live stream of Resident Evil Village, third person mode this time. Nah, Tofu is greater than all your DLCs. Do you know what I like? I like that. I like that. You are very welcome.
Did they just run out of the house?
They got chased out, Eden.
No, friendly.
Who are you? Who sent you?
Nobody. There was an accident down the road. What's going on?
Very welcome.
Oh no. They're coming.
Who is?
What
the hell was that?
Here we go again.
What?
Please tell me you have a gun.
No, why would I?
Something's there. Take it! Take it!
Are you listening?
Hey!
What the? Dead body? Wait, there's more.
So this is actually a Lemmy, or however it's pronounced. It's actually a handgun. It's the same handgun that Rose gets in Shadows of Rose, which is like probably the most like strongest indication that you're going to get that that it's actually Ethan helping Rose in Shadows of Rose DLC.
Jesus Christ. What the hell is wrong with this place?
You can actually see one of the werewolves. No, they're not actually werewolves, but we call them that for the sake of it.
Shit! What the fuck was that? No. What the hell?
The magic juice. I'll be honest with you, like, third person is not really doing anything special for me right now. Like, it's not a prequel to Village, you know. Fair enough, Shadows of the DLC is the sequel. It just hasn't. The Winter's Expansion DLC for Village cannot hold a candle, right, to the what's it called, the banned footage DLC for 7. Again, you had a full-on prequel called Daughters, where like it's the Baker family before they got infected by Evelyn. They were a normal-ish family, you know, just preparing for a storm. Jack comes back from preparing for the storm, and he comes across a shipwreck, and there is a survivor, Evelyn. He brings it back, and slowly but surely they all get infected, and it's from the perspective of Zoe Baker and her father Jack and mother Margaret get infected, and they completely change. Like, they completely change. Their behavior completely changes, and they're basically trying to fucking kill each other, try to kill Zoe. It's just absolutely mental, and you have to escape, you know. So you find out how they got infected, and it's completely different experience to the main game. Then you have the sequel, where you play as Chris Redfield, going after one of the surviving members of the Bakers, Lucas Baker, the crazy Lucas Baker, and that's a lot more action orientated because it's from the perspective of Chris Redfield, and your colleagues are absolutely annihilated, and you're actually working for what is called Blue Umbrella. Nobody knew who the hell they were. Nobody knew what the hell was going on there. So it added a really kind of interesting vibe to it, like, you know. And you find out that this new umbrella is basically like a private military, basically kind of established to fix the wrongs that the previous Umbrella Corporation did. And they hired Chris Redfield to go after Lucas Baker. So it had a fantastic story. I like that. And then in between those story DLCs, you had the bedroom DLC, which I said earlier. It's like an escape room where you're basically trying to solve these like puzzles very quickly before Margaret Baker comes back into the room. And your objective is to escape, obviously. And then you had like 21, where you're playing this like mad 21 card game with Lucas Baker. Absolutely insane. There was the other one then, which I actually forget. But you basically had to like survive, I think, through the night, like waves of enemies, and you're like crafting weapons and everything. There was like Jack's birthday party, and I think there might have been one other one as well. There was a lot of variety. I can't say that fucking word. Diversity, whatever the hell you want to say. It was just, they all felt so different and fun to play. And then you had the Winter's Expansion pack, where you just have third-person view, Mercenaries content, and Shadows of Rose. I feel like it's a letdown compared to 7. And that's my opinion, and my opinion will always stay with me.
If there are any survivors out there, come to Louise's house near the fields.
Survivors?
Yeah, survivors eating. Like, I'm actually not at all motivated to play this game, to do another playthrough, just because of third person. It's just, no, like, I'm just not motivated to do that. Like, why would I be like? Just the exact same game, like, just from a different perspective. Like, it's just like, well, look, would you play Grand Theft Auto 5? Like, if Grand Theft Auto 5, right, had a thing like where, oh well, if you complete the game, you can unlock third-person view or first-person view. Would you do it again? Just for, no, I don't think you would. Like, I think a lot of gamers nowadays are just so easily amused. It's so easy to please them. Like, you know, like, oh yeah, I'm so excited for a new perspective. Yeah, give me this. You'll take anything, lads. You'll take anything, won't you? Come on, like, what's wrong with you? We'll say good night. Watch it. Good night. Watch it. Yeah, no problem, Dad. Good night. Sleep well. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. I seem to be fucking lost fucking playing in third person. To be honest with you. Where the fuck would you come from? Seriously, where are they coming from? Oh. No. Yeah. Lads. Oh, yeah.
There's no end to them. Shit!
Okay.
No, fuck off, getting lost. No, but it's the exact same game. Like a change of perspective doesn't really do much for the game. Like, I mean, everyone has been hyping this up. Like, I can't believe that. Like, oh my god, it's third person. Oh my god. It's third person and. Like, what is your point? Like, does Capcom realize the amount of games out there that you could instantly switch between third person and first person? Like, is that just like, is that new to Capcom? Capcom did not get that memo. I can't believe they're actually charging people money for this. Well, I think it's actually free DLC. I could be wrong. I think the third person perspective might be free. I don't know. I actually don't know. But it seems to be included. Like when you look at the Winter's Expansion pack, like when you go into the product page, of the Winter's Expansion DLC, it mentions third person mode, so I presume that it actually is part of it. Oh, look, lads, whether you like it or not, whether you're thinking, oh, here's Johnny complaining again, whether you want to hear it or not, you can block your ears like a little child if you want, right? But there is a second video game crash coming. Mark my words. Like, video game companies are just delivering, like, just half-arsed content, and like they're trying to get away with it, like, you know. But I just think that there will come a time where people will say, "Right, this is not good enough. This is not good enough," and they'll just stop supporting it. I'm telling you. So the more you go back and play Village, you actually can really see the RE4 references. That's very similar to when all the villagers in 4 are attacking Leon, but eventually, like, they just stopped once they heard a bell. Now, I have no motivation to play through this game, but I'll play a little bit of it now for a while. But I just have no motivation at all.
Wait.
I mean, it's the exact same game, like, what's different about it, like? Oh, I can see Ethan's back. What? Game of the Year, reintroduce it as Game of the Year for, oh, jeez, I don't know.
In life and in death, we give glory.
Hello? You shouldn't be out here. It's not safe. What the hell? Hey, can you hear me?
It's you, the child's father.
Child? Hey, wait. Do you mean Rose? Is she here?
Rose! Rose, yes. She is in great danger. Since Mother Miranda brought her to the village, we have fallen into darkness.
What are you talking about? The monsters?
The castle bell heralds danger. They're coming!
No. Wait. Where's Rose? Who's Mother Miranda?
The bell tolls for us all. They're coming again!
Rose is here?
I'm laughing myself, Miranda. I'm just laughing at like why anyone would like hype up third person. Like it just doesn't really change the game that much. Like it's just perspective. That's all it is. Like end of the day, like. Should have had one button. It's the exact same game. Jesus Christ, I can't believe I actually paid €20 for this. Honestly. I could have just... Oh, I don't know. Anyway, that is that. Fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. There's the additional orders. I think they kind of just blended the mercenaries additional orders, kind of just in with it's the same thing. Wait. How come I don't have... It has stages. Oh, okay. So you know what, as soon as we have a new character, right, let's see. I got necklace and all them. Why is that locked? Again. The bloody... Why don't I have... Oh my god. Right, let's Alright, so you can play as Chris. I thought you could play as Mother Miranda. Fuck. Alright. Look at that. Get an SS rank or above. In, oh, what's that? All non-bloody stages. What do you mean? What do you mean non-bloody stages now? Oh, the bloody village. Yeah. I still want that fucking weapon, to be honest with you. There's Chris.
Stand by.
Welcome. One moment, please. Sorry, but I do not give discounts.
Well,
Securing goods is more important than anything. Anything, my friend.
how do I sell?
Please come again.
What do I punch?
As you wish.
It's been a while. What?
Ah. Pay me no mind. This simple modification can be done in just a moment.
Alright, let's see what happens. By punching enemies. What's that? Oh, I don't know. 7,000.
Pay me no mind. Your coin.
Alright. Let's go.
Please come again.
Okay.
Start.
Ah, fuck that crap, okay. I'm done. Thanks for watching.